Hey everyone, welcome to Behind the Minds. It's a podcast with Tyler Simmons, Jordan Brooks, and myself, Robbie Krause. It's a volleyball podcast. This is our second episode. Our first one was kind of a get to know everybody. Once again, this is our first time doing it, so just bear with us. Today we're going to talk a bit about how to get recruited for high school kids, club kids. The best process and the best channels to go through to get recruited, and what you should look for in schools and the process alone. I'll kind of introduce everybody again, just so you know that we know what we're talking about a bit. This is Tyler Simmons here. He'll tell you a bit about himself.
Assistant coach of the MSVU. Been 11 years now. I played club volleyball, provincial team, all that jazz. Yeah, been coaching volleyball for 12 or 11 years now.
Tyler also helps out with an 18U team, and a lot of those people are girls who want to get recruited, play the next level. Next, we'll go to Jordan.
Jordan Brooks. I played at UMB for 5 years, and then pretty well kind of during that time, I fell in love with coaching, so did a combination of club teams with the Sonics Club. I did a little bit of coaching in New Brunswick as well, both high school there and here in Nova Scotia. And kind of over that time, both through going through the recruiting process myself and also just talking to kids and seeing how kind of confused they are and unsure of how to go about things. I think this is a really good topic for us to do today.
Oh, yeah, I agree because, as a coach, I don't know who's going where, who's doing what, and, I went to college for a year, and to get recruited, I don't know, it's tough. You get kids that send you these, little recruitment tapes of all their highlights and stuff like that. It's, I think this is an important topic just to know that no coach is going to feel aggressive or be put back if you go, hey, I'm interested in your school. Can you take a look?
Exactly. That's the biggest thing, I think, is just helping kids understand that there's nothing wrong with reaching out.
For sure.
They're pretty scared to do that. And I think it's good, hearing from you two because, you guys, for one, you both coached at that next level, and also, Robbie, you're the one getting these emails, and you're the one these kids are trying to impress, right? And, Tyler's not only seen the recruiting process on the volleyball end, but he's actually dealt with it on the soccer end as well. So yeah. I think it'll be real good for the kids to listen in, and, it might help them.
Yeah, because, me as a coach, I don't really know who's all going where, who's interested in doing what. Yeah. And you can't talk to every single kid. So as soon as someone says either talks to their coach or sends me an email or 2 emails because I'm awful at checking my email and just says, hey, I'm interested, it's a window that allows you to look and kind of be like, oh, okay, is this person a good fit for the family or a good fit for what our long-term goal is rather than skill-based?
I think for any kid who's looking to be recruited, the first thing you have to do is research the school. See if there's programs that you want to be in. Because before you even think about the volleyball team, you got to think about what you want to do for schooling. Research every school and then send out emails to coaches just to touch bases to say, I'm this person. I'm Tyler from Nova Scotia. You might not know who I am, but just to tell them that you know about their school. And they will ask you to send game tape or come watch one of your games or something like that. But you first have to research schools because a lot of players will send out packages to schools and not know what program or what they want to do.
Yeah, and go, oh, I want to take arts. Well, that's a pretty broad subject. Jordan, do you want to touch on how you went through your process of getting recruited as a player?
Yeah, for sure. The thing is, and the thing was for me was that I didn't really know. Tyler, I think you hit it right on the head. You got to figure out what you want to do first because you may want to play on a certain team, but they don't have the program that is going to lead you towards your future goals, which is the most important part of the whole thing, right? My issue was I didn't really know. I was like, it was all volleyball, right? Like I didn't,
Yeah.
and that's half the. It's funny because it's half the kids. But if I could go back in time, I would say, okay, Jordan, you knew you wanted to teach deep down. Like I kind of kept that to myself. But so make sure that whatever school you're going to allows you to get what you need to do that. But anyway, what I did was some sites, some programs, they have like a recruit form. You guys have heard of those?
Yeah.
Where you go on their site and you kind of fill in about yourself. So I checked all the schools that I was interested in and checked to see if they had one of those. If they did, it's pretty easy. You just fill that out and then it's done for you. If they don't, then I was like, okay, what's the coach's name? What's their email? And then I made up kind of my own email that I'd send. But I think back when I did it then, I kind of sent the same thing to everybody. And if I could go back in time, and advice I have for people now is personalize the email. It's like applying for a job and you use the same cover letter for everybody. You don't. You have to switch it up and tailor it to, you don't have to change much, but you say, hey, this is who I am, and you're introducing yourself, but make sure you show that you put a little effort towards writing the email for them specifically, because I think that's something that I didn't do. I kind of just like, hey, everyone, message me if you're interested, rather than, you know what I mean? Kind of talking like, hey, UMB, you know what I'm saying? So that was one big thing. So I did that. And then after that, it's kind of just back and forth between, based on their response, if you get one, answering their questions. But I think me going through the process was something that's part of why I can help kids so much today, is because of how I went about it, right? So what about yourselves? Like where would you guys have how would you guys have gone about that?
Well, I talked to two schools, one being Kings, one being UMBSJ. Kings, I wanted to do kines at the time, or some sort of sports psychology. So I would have had to do 2 years and kind of transfer. And then I went on one recruitment trip, and that was to SJ. And at that recruitment trip, I was like, this place is sweet. So that kind of helps out too, going on trips, seeing the campus.
That's a point. That's a point I'll touch on. Keep going, but make sure you bring that back, the recruit trips.
Meeting the team too. Like Kings didn't have a setter at that point. And sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I should have went there. But I'm a big believer on everything happens for a reason. The guys at UMBSJ, it was a close knit family. Maybe was the coach the season before and recruited me. And it was just a trip. Because if you're a high school kid and you're like, oh man, this is what university life is like, this is cool. So
you're sold on.
Yeah, and see, a big thing was I would go up and talk to coaches, which I recommend a lot of kids doing. You could see a kid's name, and then the coach could go look through a game sheet or ask. But if you go up and say, hey, this is me, keep an eye out.
Shake their hand.
Let me know. Because that, as a coach looking for recruits, this year's my first year kind of recruiting. It's been all right, but I want people to know kind of who I am, who the team is, and what I'm like, just so they don't get different hopes or I'm not going to be one to chase you down, banging on your doors, taking your parents out to supper. If you want to come be a part of what we're doing, that's awesome. I don't know if it's the right way. We'll see if it works. But just kind of being as transparent. I know a lot of people will just gas you up, say everything you want to hear to get you there, and then you're 14th on the bench, or you're right.
Yeah.
But if people see how transparent you are and see a 4-year goal versus a 1 or 2 year goal, about the season plan and how it progresses and role play, I think that's all important. Just trying to be as transparent as a coach and a player as well. I
agree.
Touch a bit about soccer and volleyball interest you would have shown.
Well, when I was in grade, I don't want to say I gave up on volleyball in my last summer, but I didn't think of playing post-secondary volleyball. Kings was after me a little bit. I didn't.
Could have been teammates.
Yeah, we could have. That would have been fun. But I didn't go through with that. And then I didn't apply for any school until August. So I wasn't recruited in soccer, wasn't recruited for anything. And I just ended up going to Mount St. Vincent to play soccer in August. Like, that's when I made my decision to go to school. And then that was, it's really late, unheard of,
That is
honestly.
late.
Yeah.
Like, that's, I should have already applied for the school, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. Because I was trying to figure out, I was actually closer to taking a year off and then trying to find out something. But then I knew if I took the year off, I wouldn't go back to school.
Yeah.
So I went.
That's usually it.
Yeah, I went in and I was lucky that I was playing on a soccer team with some of the guys from the Mount in the summer. And they're like, yeah, come play with us. And I did and had a good career there. But I wish I would have went to Kings so I could have played soccer and volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight's
That would-
2020,
that
but
would
you wouldn't have been introduced to coaching at such a young age, and being the developmental coach and the high level coach you are now.
I probably wouldn't be starting volleyball.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Your playing career would have taken, that would have taken the priority, and 2 sports at once, you would have been swamped. So
Yeah.
chances are, you may not have had time to do any of the coaching that you're doing today. So it's a blessing in disguise. And I mean,
I was
you
coaching
look at
3
the
soccer
success-
teams at the time, so I probably.
Oh man, well, I went to SJ for a year for sports and exercise psychology to be an elementary phys ed teacher. Now I'm an electrician. Like, the goal you have when you're 17, 18 isn't always the goal you end up with. But after that 1 year, I took I'd say probably 4 or 5 years off volleyball. It was a great team, had a pretty good experience, but I was like, I'm done for a bit. And then I kind of got back in later on. I think a break's important too, just to kind of, keep it separated from playing and
100%, or you might run yourself dry. Right?
Yeah.
One thing oh, sorry, you go ahead.
You go, buddy.
I was just gonna say one thing I like that you mentioned, Tyler, is that year off. Sometimes people want it and they think they want it, but the thing is with sport is that year off, usually if you take that, sometimes you need time to think about what you want to do, and I fully respect that. But I bet you if we got a statistic of how many athletes that are unsure and then they take that year off, how many go back and play that following year, it would be a low percentage. You know what I mean?
I think the only sport that a player can do that is basketball. Right?
Yeah.
Because if you take it off in basketball, you can continue to play basketball at a high level.
You can still train. Still train, exactly.
But you're not playing. If you take off volleyball for that year, have fun trying to come back.
Yeah.
It is tough. And I think too, one thing, when it goes to recruiting, if I was to break it down, so I've talked to you guys almost a day for the last however many months. I've had a lot of kids come to me with that, wanting that advice, and I know you got, Tyler, you have too, and then at the same time, Robbie, you're actually the one getting all these people reaching out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we've kind of seen it from all the different aspects, and the big thing for me for kids is you don't have to decide what you want to go early, or necessarily you don't need to make those final decisions too soon. Tyler, you're living proof. You waited till August, but there's entrance scholarships are something that you only get. I think May 1st is the deadline for those.
Yeah,
Am I right, Tyler?
I missed mine because of
exactly. So did I at UMB, and that's the thing. So what I tell kids, and what I think this is why I think it's really important to kind of get on that stuff early. You don't have to decide early, but start the process early. I think it's good to, in grade 11, you start your feelers, and then that way, before March 1st of grade 12, you've applied to all the schools you might go to. So if I'm between 4, I'll apply to all 4 by March 1st of grade 12. That way I know no matter where I choose, I'm eligible for an entrance scholarship. A lot of times people panic and they wait, and then it's like myself, I didn't decide to go to UMB till June, and I was kind of thinking I was going to go to MUN, but wasn't sure. I had an entrance scholarship there, but I didn't have one at UMB because I didn't apply. When really, I should have just, knowing UMB might be an option, I should have applied to that school. I think And another thing, Robbie, that you've seen it on the coaching end, when you've applied for a school, that allows the school to be able to offer you money and talk about money. They can't really do too much talking about money until you've applied, because if you're not even shown, if you haven't shown the school that you're interested, they're not going to offer you anything, right? So
exactly,
that's
because
the
all
big thing,
coaches
is
get a
applying.
list. All coaches get a list of who's applied and all this and that, and their interest, and that helps too. Because if you're going down, you're like, oh, I've seen this girl play before. I've seen this person in the gym, or I know someone who coached this person. Like,
And it shows they're interested too.
Yeah.
At my soccer academy, we have to tell our kids to start researching schools in grade 10. And then by grade 11, you should have already have an email sent out to a coach saying that you're interested in the school, because you don't want to wait until grade 12 to make contact with the coach, because by that time, they could already be talking to people, like players already. So you start researching in grade 10, already make contact with the coach in grade 11 to say, hey, I'm interested in your school. That way the coach has 2 years to show up to one of your games or see some of your game taken, or even hear from other coaches, and they can make a decision from there if they want to take you for the next 4 to 5 years.
And I think this is a good example here now, because if you're in grade 12 and you don't really know what you're going to do, there's no club volleyball because of this virus. And so there's a lot of people left up in the air being like, I don't know what I want to do. I got to kind of pick fast. So if you've started this process early,
you wouldn't be worrying about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as big of a burden, right? Because everybody wants to go to school and everybody kind of wants to play post-secondary, unless if you hate volleyball and you don't want to do it. But it's important to have those feelers out and not be, hey, this is coming from 2 of the 3 biggest procrastinators we know. Try to get it done earlier. Yeah, we always wait till the last minute for everything, but it's just good to know and have a conversation, or I've already had a conversation about the process or what the year is going to look like, just so something like this doesn't leave you kind of like, oh my God.
And you'd be surprised, just simply telling a coach that you're interested in the school, they can now find a way to actually watch you. If it is sending an assistant coach to come watch one of your games. But if they don't know if they don't even know you're interested in the school, what's the point of going to watch you? Right? Because everyone sees the movies on TV where the one kid that had that game and the coach recruited them because of that game. Yeah. What they don't show in that movie is that kid actually emailed the coach probably a month or so earlier saying, I'm interested in your school. So he shows up to the game. It's not a random occurrence that a coach is at a game and you have this great game, you get recruited, and everyone thinks that that's how it goes, and it's not like that at all.
Yeah, I don't know how many times, Jordan, how many times have I messaged you, hey, your club team's playing against this person, what are they like? Or you
exactly
helped coach this person they're coached against, or you're playing against these people. What's it like?
I'll actually tell a story about the amount. I went to recruit a player, was it last year? I showed up and watched one of her games, and I told Derek, the head coach, I don't like her. I straight up said, I don't want her on our team. I'm not a fan. I don't think she's going to be good for our program. I go and watch her 2-3 more times later on as the season's going. I'm like, you know what? This is actually the exact player I want. Just like I got to see her attitude change with her team and go from our high school season to club season, how it differed. And like from that one game that I watched, her body language wasn't saying like, hey, this is a player that will really help our program. And then she came to become a fantastic player for our program, honestly. So I'm not going to name drop, but
no, for sure. And that's the thing. You don't need to. This is more just for those guys to realize that first time they watch you play, don't get down on it, because there's, one thing I think. One thing I think that this is my biggest thing with kids is that they're like, oh, they don't want me. They might not even have a clue who you are, and it's not and that's not in an offensive way. It's and I personally, and I'm gonna flat out say it, I don't think that in our Atlantic Canada, I don't think the coaches, not all of them anyway, have enough knowledge of all the players. They're too busy focusing on that 1 or 2 kids that everyone knows.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about it. We're coaches in the U18 league, and I don't know all the players.
No,
and
you don't.
I'm a coach of a mound, and I don't know every single one of these players. There's players who we get emails for, and the name pops up, and I don't know who they are from Nova Scotia.
No.
So how?
No.
Like,
it means no offense, and
Yeah.
it's not an offensive thing. Like I mean, I look at a rookie that plays on the mound right now without saying their name. I mean, who would like where that person played? No one's gonna know because they're not in the tournaments that the coaches go to. That doesn't mean that Tyler Simmons and Derek Brooks and Jamie Brown and it doesn't mean they don't want you on the mound. It's just they don't even know you exist. So
send us an email.
I got a road dog that does D2 provincials, all the small tournaments. Mike's in every tournament. Yeah, man, it doesn't matter. Well, that's how I know. He sent me a list. He's like, these girls have talent. You should check them out. When I came back to Help Club, I checked out and every name on that list was right on. So yeah, it doesn't matter. But you can't have that exposure if you don't put yourself out there or go message someone.
No, you can't. You can't expect the coaches to know you. Sometimes you have to give a bit.
It starts with the player.
Yeah.
Yep. The player has to initiate everything.
Well, one thing for me, I like kind of back to what I was saying. Coaches sometimes I think get caught up on a specific name or one or two names, and they don't notice the rest of the talent that's there, and kids will let that affect them, and they only want them. It's like they may want them, and they're probably going to push the hardest for them, but if you reached out and you showed you were interested, maybe they don't even think you'd go there. I've heard coaches, I don't even need to say who, then they're like, oh, well, I didn't even know she'd come. And really, it's I do sometimes wish coaches put more into it and checked and did that research, but I mean, most of them have other things going on in their life. So, they can only do so much. They can only watch so much. But if this player had reached out long before, that coach would have wanted them, but they didn't even, you know what I mean? So
I've gone to Div 2 provincials to watch because players have reached out to them out.
So, if you were to sum up one sentence, piece of advice for a player coming up, just to kind of wrap this segment up, if you could give one quote or one piece of advice, what would it be?
You guys go first, because you know me.
Make contact with the coach. That's it. Make contact early. Tell them that you're interested. And then anything, you might not even go to that school, but make contact early just to let them know that you're an option. That way the coach knows hey, I should look at this player. I should talk to this player.
Mine is kind of going right off what Tyler said. Come out and introduce yourself. If you see them, whether it's at a game or they can come to watch a team, come up and say, hey, I'm such and such. I sent you an email. Just wanted to let you know who I am, what games you can watch me play at, and just kind of separate the name from the email and attach the name to a face and a person.
Okay. I'm going to say it. It won't be one sentence, unfortunately, but you know how
we all know you.
But I would say it like this. First off, because I've talked to so many girls, especially in this quarantine time, I've been given advice to so many players. Don't be afraid. That'd be my one sentence, I guess, is don't be afraid. Like some of these girls, I'm like, did you send the email yet? Oh no, I was too scared. Well, they're never going to recruit you if they.
Yeah,
you know
you're in the driving seat as a player. You have all the power. You're making a choice.
You got to tell. So that's my first thing is don't be afraid. 2, get on it early. Like grade 12 is late to be making these decisions. Not to be making these decisions, to be sending these emails. Grade 11 is that age. The research in 10, the work in grade 11, and then 12 is the decision. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how that should be. Yeah, except it may not be that lavish for them, but and then my last thing would be videotape your games, every one of them, and do it from an angle that is good for a coach to see. Because me helping these girls, a lot of the coaches are emailing back, do you have any film? Excuse me, especially in a time right now with the quarantine, it's like Or let's say I'm interested, but I don't have a chance to go watch it. I just can't, and neither can any of my coaches. That film could be, that could them seeing that could make them be like, holy crap, I need to see this kid play now live. Whereas if you don't have the film for them, they might be like, well. So I'd say videotape all your games so that you have that resource ready. Because a lot of times what happens is the kids get that email and they're like, oh, now I need to tape my games from now on. But it could be too late from then, right? So that'd be it. And I'm going to stop it there because we can go forever. Good. Okay. All right. So discussing recruiting. Took a little break. We're back to it. And this is something that we're all looking forward to talking about today. It's, growing up in Nova Scotia, I think I think that's when the conversation first starts. Is you've got some of these basketball players that are fantastic athletes. You look at how Nova Scotia's been doing on the basketball scene. More and more players are going to the States. And Tyler, you actually went to high school with tons of these guys that,
I almost had them on the team. You'd have the
banners, man. You know what I mean? If those guys had put the work in, my banners wouldn't exist. So thank God they didn't. But anyway, so we always talk about, and I think most volleyball players have done this in their lives that are basketball fans, your perfect NBA lineup on the volleyball court. So we figured for the second half of this segment, it'd be kind of cool if we decided to do a little draft where we draft our players and snake draft. We each take turns, and once you've picked the player, they're gone. Now, one thing that's interesting is I think we can all agree over the years that lineup has changed. Because I know Steve Nash was on my starting lineup for years.
Yeah. Every year it changes.
Yeah, exactly. So now, so we're gonna stick, just to confirm for the viewers, we're gonna stick with current players, right?
Current NBA players.
Yeah.
Okay, and will we go with them in their primes? Because the thing is, Vince Carter is definitely someone I'm taking if he's in his prime, but I'm not taking those Vince Carter. Actually,
no, because if we talk about prime, then we could take anybody. I say we just say this season.
Current, okay. Because I was going to say, I may still take Vince Carter on the bench for team morale, but
serving sub.
Okay, so I got you.
The bike.
Okay, so why don't we go with, in terms of the lineup, you've got your libero, your center, your right side, your two lefts, your two mids, and do you want to take maybe two people off the bench?
Well, we need a setter.
Center.
I thought we were just doing starting six.
We'll do starting seven.
Yeah.
Seven. Okay.
Yeah.
No bench players. I was gonna say seven players each. Perfect. Okay. And
So
for this draft,
for those of you who don't know, is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
I see what you did.
Okay.
I see. You think you're smart. I see.
Yeah, running against the back-to-backs. Yeah. So pretty much it's going to go from youngest to oldest. So it'll go me, Tyler, Robbie, Tyler, me, and keep going like that till we have our 7. Okay. Perfect. So you want me to kick things off?
Kick her off, man.
So am I going to say the position? Am I going to say the position that I want them for?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start my first pick. I'm going to go with Giannis, and he's going to play middle for me.
Whoa. That's
Shocker,
not the pick.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's not the pick I thought you were going with.
No, I switched it up.
Oh, man, that makes things difficult. I'm going LeBron as my left side. Mr. Consistent, can do it all, powerful.
You got LeBron?
LeBron on my left side, yep. That's a 6'9" left side.
I was hoping he'd fall to me.
Nope,
I was being optimistic.
that wasn't happening.
Okay.
My first pick is Zion.
Okay.
Zion?
Woo.
Yeah, big left.
So yeah, Zion's be nasty. There's no doubt. What position?
So it's my pick again?
No, it's me because I went last.
Oh, okay.
With my next pick, I'm going to take Ben Simmons as my setter.
Okay. Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's smooth with it. So wait, what position Zion playing?
Right side.
Okay. And Ben Simmons is set. And so You're set on the right side of the court.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Well, with my pick, I'm going to stay with the Lakers and going with Anthony Davis as my middle. So I have LeBron as my left side, Anthony Davis as the middle.
And you know they've already got it down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's on me 2 picks in a row. I'm going to go with... Wow. This is tough. I'm going to go with Zach LaVine on the left side.
Still my next pick.
And I'm going to go with DeAndre Jordan on the right because he's a lefty.
It's back to my pick.
Zion's a lefty too, Robbie. That's a nice pick on the right side. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, buddy,
Okay.
big bounce. Probably play defense. Just a beast.
Yeah.
Okay, so
on to you, Ty.
for my third pick, I'm going to go with Joel Embiid as my middle. So I have 2 massive middles and a left side right now.
Okay.
Okay. My next pick is Kevin Durant. He's gonna go.
The scrawny middle.
Yeah, but think about how hot.
He'd be
Over
good,
Anthony Davis and then Joel Embiid? Those are...
And my next
He
pick,
would be good, though.
because you could separate them off the net. The next pick on the left, go with Westbrook.
Okay. Huh.
If he throws us down, I think that'd be a pretty good left side approach.
Ooh.
Westbrook?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm at a
that's a nice-
crossroads right now. Oh, who do I go for? Because I know I have 2 setters in mind. Oh, my God. Do I go for a setter or a right side? Okay, no, because this pick I need to take nice and early.
So remind us who you got. You've got AD.
LeBron, AD, Joel
Embiid.
Okay.
I can save my other picks are sleepers. So I'm going to go with, right now, Kawhi Leonard as a left side. Huge hands. Can do it all.
He'd
2
be
pillars
good.
out there. So my team's looking pretty strong right now.
Okay. So I've already got Giannis in the middle, Zach on the left. I've got DeAndre Jordan on the right. I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna take Kristaps Porzingis in the middle.
Ooh, that was one of my picks.
That's one.
And then I'm going to take... Jeez, this last one's tough. I think I'm going to go James Harden setting. Lefty.
Okay.
Okay, I can see that. I like that.
Yeah, he's got handles.
Yeah.
Oh. I know, I'm just trying to figure this out.
So I've got 5 right now. This would be Tyler's 5th pick.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. I'm tossed between the 2. But I like this guy a lot. Luka Doncic as my setter.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He could do it all.
I was considering him.
I had another pick for setter. I'll drop the name after because he's nice.
Yeah, that's a good pick, Luka. Let's see. So, Ty, you have Luka, Kawhi, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, and LeBron.
Yeah.
I have Zion, Ben Simmons, Durant, Westbrook. Jordan's got Giannis, DeAndre Jordan, Zach LaVine, Porzingis, and Harden. Okay.
And we
On
can't
you,
switch
Robbie,
positions,
too.
can we?
No, we can't switch positions. Left side, I got a middle. Let's see. I am going to go with my next left side. You guys kind of drafted pretty good here. But I am going to take.
Okay. How tall is he?
6'4".
Yeah.
Who'd you take?
Dame Lillard.
Oh, yeah, good call. I was thinking of him. Is he left side?
Yeah, left side, and he'd be paired up with Westbrook. So Westbrook would be your P1 or whatever. And then Dame would be a nice little P2 to go, when your setter's in the front.
Yeah.
Solid passer, got ice in his
Mhm.
veins. Okay,
Libero?
so, yeah, well, I said a one middle and then a libero. So my second middle is going to be a guy who some of you guys might not know. I don't even know his name. Hamilton Diallo. He's that guy from OKC that dunks, that gets his head above the rim.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that flies.
Yeah.
He's going to be my second middle.
Okay.
So him and KD is my middles.
So here's my problem. All the players who I wanted to pick as a right side have all been picked. So I'm kind of just going with the flow right now. Because I'm going to go with a defensive specialist to play my right side, who is known for getting a lot of blocks and protecting the paint. Comes from Africa/Spain, Serge Ibaka. Big
Serge
right
Ibaka.
side, Serge Ibaka. Yeah.
Good call.
Yep.
It's a good call. Okay, I get 2 picks left. These are my last 2. I'm gonna go with Steph Curry as my libero.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one said
I
him.
know.
I thought for sure he would be a setter.
I was thinking that. And then I need one more left side, and I'm gonna go with. Jeez.
I know who you want.
I'm gonna go John Morant. John Morant is my other left side.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, boys. You guys are regretting that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bounces.
He does, and he jumps like that, and he's skilled. He would murk. That's
You
a
said
money pick.
You said Curry was your
libero.
Oh, my 3 libs. I know, but my 3 libs are nice. This is the 3 ones who I have an idea to be my libs are nice. But I want my team to have some team chemistry. I've got Serge Ibaka, so bring Kyle Lowry as my lib. The guy puts his body on the line.
He takes a lot of charges.
Yes, he puts his body on the line. And he gets assists too, so he can set. That's a good pick.
That is a good pick. No, he'd be a great lib. But that actually ties my team in because I got Zion, Ben, Durant, Westbrook, Dame, just a bunch of guys who kind of are fuck you. So I think the biggest lib and the best lib team would be
Patrick
Beverly.
Yeah, that was my other pick.
I was gonna take him. He was gonna be my other one. If Curry was gone, I wanted Beverly.
So see, if you have Beverly and you already have Westbrook, Dame, I know Beverly and Westbrook kind of got beef, but if you already have these guys who are kind of shitheads already, I think Beverly's be a good leader to.
Yeah, and you know that, man, Beverly and Westbrook would be great teammates once they actually were teammates. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would kill it together.
So recap our teams, Robbie.
Recap our teams. So, we got Giannis.
We got to do a vote.
DeAndre Jordan, Zach LaVine, Porzingis, Harden, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Father, we got LeBron, Anthony Davis, Kawhi, Montage, Serge. For me,
It's a nice squad.
Jordan, you also had John Morant.
Yeah.
I was too worried.
Yeah, John.
But yeah, he's got John Morant.
I had John the left.
Yeah, I have Zion, Ben Simmons setting, Durant middle, Westbrook, Dame, the jumper from OKC.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his last name, but hey, we'll get there. And Pat Beverly.
So the person I wanted to take as my setter was Nikola, Jokic.
Jokic?
From the Nuggets.
Denver?
Yes, he is
That's
nice.
a massive center.
Yes.
He is good, though.
But all he does is get assists a game, so I'm like, that would be my setup.
Yeah.
So I went with Luka
No,
Doncic because he's nice.
His game is nice. He's smooth with it. For
I
sure.
Lonzo Ball too, kind of on my bubble as a setter, just because he like gets the ball to the right people, and I feel like that.
Yeah, but he can't shoot, so no tempo.
No. See, well, look at Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just looking for.
So
him
we'll
to
have
turn
to
and
we'll
dunk.
have to do a poll. We'll have to
Yeah.
do a poll, an Insta poll or something, and see
It's not
what
needed. My
people
team's
think.
gonna win.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not-
We'll
I
see.
have team
We'll do it.
chemistry already.
We'll do an Insta poll. We'll pop up our
Yes,
3
all my
teams. We'll
players
make
all-stars?
people vote.
And is it any surprise that all my players have a big chip on their shoulder and want to say F you?
Amen.
True.
Yeah, that's the Team Robbie for sure.
So, yeah, everyone will do a poll. Thanks for tuning in to our second episode. First, check that. Doing our third. But yeah, so we're also going to have a few guests on the show. I've enjoyed certain levels. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just wanted to let everyone know, my team's the best team, so that's all we need to know.
One thing I would just say before we go, touching on the recruiting thing is just, if you do have questions, we're all open. Even you, Robbie, as a coach in the league, I'm sure you'd be happy to help kids out. So just back touching on that subject again, ask these questions. If your coaches aren't going to help you out, reach out to someone who will. Always look for a second set of eyes. Even if you have a highlight tape, get someone to watch it for you first. They may notice something you didn't see. If you have an email typed out, get your parents to read through it first, because those little things are important. And I think a lot of times that stuff gets kind of rushed, and you don't realize that one little mistake here or one little thing there could kind of make or break you. So that would be my just takeaway for this, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. Man, he's a great.
Yes.